Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today we have another edition of Success and Growth Hacks, and I'd like to welcome back Sarry Ibrahim to the show. Sarry, welcome to the show.
Hi, Suja. Thanks for having me back on.
Absolutely. All right. So, Sarry, will you please share with us one of your habits that you've developed that has contributed to your continued growth and success?
Definitely, yeah. So I think the biggest factor with success is the ability to manage time. Like you want to be able to do so many different things in a day, but not drive yourself crazy. So what I always do is, a lot of these things I didn't invent, but some of them are kind of weird. What I'll do is I'll put everything I have to do in a calendar, even if it's not like with somebody else. Like for example, if I have to do one of my own tasks, I'll put it into a calendar. That way I know when to do it and I know how long it's going to take. And then every morning when I wake up around like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, the first thing I do is I go to my calendar and then I write out all my tasks in order from the first to the last. And then as I'm completing those tasks, I'm checking them off. And then sometimes it might have like it might lead to like two tasks. For example, like you and I, we had a podcast recording today. And I also have to prep for the recording. So that's two tasks and then that. And then as I'm checking those off throughout the day, I'm creating momentum now. And I do the easiest task on top. So this way, I can build momentum in the morning. Like I'm wake up in the morning, I'm tired, and then I put the easiest ones on top, the easiest tasks on top, and then I could check them off. So this way it creates momentum for the others. Also, it allows like time block. So like even if I have like 100 things to do in a day, the fact that like you and I are having this recording right now, this is all I have to do right now. I have nothing else to do. I'm not thinking about anything else but this time that you and I have. So I'm blocking out these times. And then doing this has led to other benefits, like the ability to take on new clients, the ability to do more podcasts as a guest and as a host on my show, Thinking Like a Bank. So kind of gives you the ability to do more things and find more freedom in your life when you're like super specific about managing your time.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Awesome. Well, I love that very much. And what sort of challenges have you kind of encountered as you developed this system? Like, have you tried anything and then shifted it to this current system?
Yeah, definitely. So I have a Calendly account, which is like I think you have the same thing. It's just like a software you could use like schedule appointments. So what was happening is I was putting things in like my schedule, and then like somebody would book an appointment. I wouldn't know because they're just going to my website or podcast or whatever. They would schedule an appointment, and then now my like day would get thrown off. So what I would do is I would go in, like let's say for example I have something due, like a project due like Thursday at like 3 p.m. And I have in my mind to do it at like 12 o'clock that day. I will go in and I'll block it in there. So this way nobody else can take over that time. So that's something I kind of learned later on, but I just didn't think about that. I didn't think that I would have to do that. Like I'd have to go into my calendar and block it out. But when you have your calendar essentially open to the world to go
Yeah.
in there and schedule a time, you have to do those certain things. So that's kind of something I learned. Also like tweaking your account, like setting it so that way you don't get appointments on Saturday and Sunday, setting it up so that way like Wednesday's podcast day and you can only have like that's how I set it up. So I
Yeah.
guess it's too much to just put all in the beginning, but something you want to adapt as you're going along with your system.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And booking yourself
Mhm.
to handle whatever task you need to handle in that time is very powerful as well.
Mhm.
So awesome. Thanks so much. And it's an interesting take that you have. Like I like that. And there's a book called Eat That Frog, and I don't know. So
Yeah.
that actually takes the opposite approach, right? Like they say, do the hardest thing
Yeah.
first. And that may or may not work for you. Like, I mean, I like that strategy. I think that's a reasonable approach.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work for you, trying something like what Sarry's doing, which is actually just getting a lot of little tasks done, the easy ones, 2-minute
Yeah.
tasks done to create momentum. I mean, it's
Yes.
all about getting leverage on yourself and what's going to work for you. So try both.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. Some people might say the opposite. Like I do the harder ones in the beginning of the day, but you won't know that until like you actually test out your own system.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sarry, for coming on and sharing your time management hacks and success tips for the day. Really appreciate it. All right. We'll see you next time, everyone. And wait, before we go, Sarry, please share with the listeners how they can learn more about you and anything else you want to share.
Yes, you can check out our podcast. You can connect with me on YouTube and LinkedIn, all from the website, finassetprotection.com. Again, that's FIN assetprotection.com.
Okay. Awesome. And your podcast again is called
Thinking Like a Bank.
Awesome. All right. Well, I hope you all take some time to check that out. Sarry, thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Suja.